Git is a free and open-source code management system. It is a distributed revision control system that places emphasis on speed, data integrity, and also support for distributed, non-linear workflows. Git Change Into to begin with designed and developed via Linus Torvalds for Linux kernel development. It is a free software program distributed under the terms of the GNU General Public License version 2. VCS stands for Version Control System. It is a fixed of tools that track the records of a set of files. This means that you can inform your VCS, Git, in our case, to store the state of your files at any factor. If you're a graphic designer or web designer and want to keep each version of an image or layout, which you could most absolutely need to, a VCS is a totally clever aspect to use. It allows you to revert files again to a preceding state, revert the whole project back to a preceding state, examine adjustments over time, see who remaining changed something that is probably causing a problem, who brought an issue and when, and more. Using a VCS also generally means that in case you screw matters up or lose documents, you could effortlessly recover. In addition, you get all of this for little or no overhead. Many people's version manipulate technique of desire is to copy files into another directory, possibly a timestamp directory, if they're smart. This method is very commonplace because it's so simple, but it's also notably blunders inclined. It is straightforward to neglect which directory you are in and by accident write to the incorrect report or copy over documents you do not imply to. What is Git? Git is a most famous implementation of a distributed version control system. It originates from the Linux kernel improvement and was founded in 2005 by way of Linus Torvalds. Nowadays it is used by many famous open supply projects, for example, the Android or the Eclipse developer groups, in addition to many business organizations. Why use Git? Git is a version control system, VCS, for tracking modifications in PC documents and coordinating work on those files amongst more than one humans. It is mainly used for source code management in software development, but it is able to be used to keep track of modifications in any set of documents or files. What are the benefits of Git? Free and open source. High availability. Data redundancy and replication. Only one .git directory per repository. Superior disk utilization and network performance. Collaboration friendly. Any sort of projects can use Git. What is Git repository? A Git repository incorporates the records of a set of files beginning from a certain directory. The manner of copying a current Git repository via the Git tooling is referred to as cloning. After cloning the repository, the consumer has the whole repository with its records on his local device. Git additionally supports the creation of new repositories. What are the Git repository hosting services? Bitbucket, Beanstalk, GitHub, Assembler, CloudForge, Codebase, Fog Creek Kiln, GitLab, Roadcode, Planio, Perforce. Microsoft Visual Studio Team Services. Can you define staging area? The staging area is the place to store changes in the working tree before the commit. The staging area contains a snapshot of the changes in the working tree, changed or new files, relevant to create the next commit and stores their mode, file type, executable bit. Can you define working tree? The working tree contains the set of working files for the repository. You can modify the content and commit the changes as new commits to the repository. What is the syntax for rebasing? Git rebase, new commit. What is GitHub? Git is a version control system which tracks the changes whilst running with system codes at the same time as GitHub is a web primarily based Git version managed repository web hosting carrier. It affords all the distributed version control and supply code management functionalities of Git whilst topping it with a few of its very own functions. What is version control system VCS? Version control systems are a form of software program tools that assist software builders manage his modifications to source code over time. Version control software continues tune of each change to the code in a special sort of database. Developers can flip back the clock if essential and examine earlier versions of the code to help fix the error even as minimizing disruption to all group members. What is DVCS? DVCS, Distributed Version Control System, is a version control system that operates on a distributed hardware principle or, in some different distributed computing systems, like a digital network. How to revert previous commit in Git. To revert to a previous commit, ignoring any changes. Git reset hard head. Where head is the last commit in your current branch. What is subgit? Subgit is a tool for SVN to Git migration. It creates a writable Git mirror of a local or remote Subversion repository and uses both Subversion and Git as long as you like. What is a conflict in Git? Conflict arises when the commit that has to be merged has some alternate in a single place, and the current dedicate additionally has a change on the same place. How will you know in Git if a branch has already been merged into master? To know if a branch has been merged into master or not, you can use the below commands. Git branch merged, it lists the branches that have been merged into the current branch. Git branch no merged, it lists the branches that have not been merged. What does commit object contains? Commit object contains the following components. A set of files or records, representing the state of a project at a given point of time. Reference to parent commit objects. A SHI name, a 40-character string that uniquely identifies the commit object. Can you explain difference between Git and SVN? The main difference is Git versus SVN debate boils down to this. Git is a distributed version control system, DVCS, whereas SVN is a centralized version control system. Can you define stash in Git? Stashing takes the dirty state of your operating directory, this is, your changed tracked documents and staged adjustments, and saves it on a stack of unfinished adjustments that you can reapply at any time. Can you explain Git commit A? Git commit with option A adds all tracked files to the staging area and commits them in one step. It implicitly runs git add command with A option, and hence we can skip git add. How do you share a local Git repository? Git daemon export all base path equals $pwd. What are the three main parts of a Git project? Working directory, this directory where all your project files and folders reside, along with the Git folder. Staging area, it is a hypothetical layer which sits on top of the last commit layer. When you run the git commit command, the two layers gets merged. Git directory, it is basically like your Git repos database, like, share and comment. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Click the bell button for latest updates.